Welcome to the Smart Social Media Notes podcast, sponsored by Smart Office Help Social Media Agency. I'm your host, Elizabeth Hall, avid writer, passionate podcaster, extraordinary social media consultant, and lifestyle blogger. This show is focused on providing educational information in reference to social media platforms, sprinkled with some business tips. This is episode 19 of Smart Social Media Notes, and you're in the right place to get your social media groove on, learning about social media tips, tools, and resources you can use to grow your online networks and your online presence. Thank you for being a part of our socially informed community. And I love sharing what I know, what I've used, and what I think will be useful to you. I would love to hear your opinion of the show, and you can do that by leaving a review on iTunes by typing in smartofficehelp.com/iTunes in your browser. And if you are a new listener and not yet subscribed, then I invite you to do so. It only takes a few minutes to sign up, and then you don't have to worry about missing any great episodes. Once again, you can do that by heading over to iTunes. You can just type into your web browser smartofficehelp.com/iTunes, and it will take you right to the iTunes listing. You can also listen via RSS feed from smartofficehelp.com, and if you have an Android device, you can listen via Stitcher Radio or Player FM. The link is smartofficehelp.com/Stitcher, or if you prefer to listen to it on Player FM, then the link is smartofficehelp.com/player-FM. All mentioned links are posted on smartofficehelp.com along with the transcripts from the shows. If you like listening to this podcast, you'll love watching the social media tutorials posted weekly over on our YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is youtube.com/smartofficehelp. Life is good in our social media world, and I hope it's the same for you and your brand. I attended a networking luncheon last week, and it was awesome. I met some fantastic and driven people there. It's always good to surround yourself with like-minded people. It can be not only influential, but also motivating. Whenever I go to any networking function, I always end up with a pocket full of business cards. It's kind of like candy to me because I can't wait to get back to my office and put my investigative hat on. I truly enjoy seeing how much information I can dig up on each person that I've met. I also attempt to connect with them online when possible. And I say when possible because sometimes I just don't have enough information to get to them. Sometimes I get bad information. Now there are always some blockades that I run into at this point, which brings us to today's topic, 14 offline social media networking mistakes to avoid. Are you making avoidable mistakes when you network offline? Maybe there are some things that could be done better. I recently started getting out of the office and back on the offline networking bandwagon. I love building new relationships, and I also enjoy really getting an idea of getting to know those that don't use social media as much as I do. Social media is what I do, and so sometimes I take it for granted and sometimes forget that not all entrepreneurs are online all the time like me. I'm good at listening to the elevator speeches, shaking hands, and exchanging business cards. What I'm not good at is explaining thoroughly what I do in a short amount of time. I also noticed that I'm not the only one that has this issue in the area of networking. The remedy is simple in my eyes. Have an online presence. If nothing else, have a one-page brochure type of website where potential connections can get more information about you and your business. Now, there are a couple of things that I look for on a business card: the name, website, email. I don't really care about the address. And believe it or not, I don't really care about the social media profiles that are listed on the business card. I want to be able to find information about the name and the company online. Why? Well, a business card can only hold so much information. Using online resources is a great way to really expand on your skills, work, services, and you as a person. I made sure to add you as a person to the list. Networking is all about developing relationships. The people who you meet want to have a relationship with you as a person and not the company as a whole. There are, however, some massive mistakes that are made by every entrepreneur at one time or another. Here are some social media offline business networking mistakes to avoid. First, your Facebook account is a personal profile. As a business, you don't need friends, you need likes. You can read the article, Make the Correct Social Media Profile Choices Business versus Personal. And if you're listening to the podcast or you're watching on YouTube, you can go over to Smart Office Help and the link will be in the show notes. You are participating on social media, but there are no social icons on your website and there are none listed on your business cards. You're a social media company, but your own company's social media profiles suck and only have tumbleweed rolling around on it. Personally, I would not trust my social media and marketing to a company that can't manage their own accounts. A social media company should not have to provide a resume for their work. Their own social media accounts speaks volumes as to what you can expect to receive. You're a franchise owner and all your social media that you link to goes to the main franchise accounts. Now, the people who you meet want to follow a person, not a logo. I'm always disappointed when I go to the main franchise site and there is nothing that tells me about the person that I met, and that's a bummer. You don't have a LinkedIn profile. All savvy networkers have an online presence. You should definitely have a profile set up on the number one professional network, which is LinkedIn. This will be an extension of your business card. And if you think you don't have time to create a profile, make time. You could simply post your resume and update it often. You'll be surprised at the impact your LinkedIn profile will have. You have a LinkedIn profile, but there is no associated email listed. Did you know that potential connections need to have your email in order to request a connection? You can take a page out of my LinkedIn playbook and create an email specifically for LinkedIn. Now, this will only be effective if you own your business website domain. I simply created an email account on smartofficehelp.com's domain called LinkedIn. If someone wants to connect with me, they just need to use LinkedIn at smartofficehelp.com. I made sure it is at the very top of the summary section for all to see. Now, the statement reads, as a social media professional, I'm open to all invitations to connect. Feel free to invite me. LinkedIn at smartofficehelp.com. Now, FYI, I also route this email to my main inbox so I can respond to any inquiries. And as a side note, you can connect with me over on LinkedIn if you like. Again, the email is LinkedIn at smartofficehelp.com. So just go over there, hit the connect button, and put in that email. Next, you have a website listed on your business card that is obviously unfinished or seriously outdated. I think it's safe to say that this could be a deal breaker for a potential client. Again, the onlooker will wonder if you're taking your business seriously. You have YouTube listed as one of your social media networks you participate on, but there are no videos, no headers, no nothing. An inactive account should not be listed on your website, business cards, or any printed marketing materials. It just shouldn't. Your social media is all logo and no human. Again, this is a trap that most franchise owners fall into. There is no personality in a logo. Purchasing decisions have some level of emotions involved. Can one be emotional when dealing with a logo? I think it's safe to say no. You want people to follow you on Google Plus, but you have not taken the time to request a custom URL. This is a networking blockade that can easily be avoided. It takes 2 seconds to request a custom URL. As a matter of fact, Google will continue to prompt you to select a custom URL whenever you log into your account. You use a catch-all email address or an email that is not domain specific for your business, and you put that on your business card. An example would be info@example.com or customer service at example.com. And then there are the public domains like Google Plus and Yahoo, where your email is example@google.com or example@yahoo.com. If you're serious about your business, get a domain name and give contacts a way to communicate with a person. Attempting to seal the deal with someone you just met at the networking meeting. This is a huge mistake unless that person has genuinely shown an interest in what you have to offer. Get the person's contact information and build your relationship outside of the networking function. Social media is a great way to not only get more information about a business, but you can also have a direct line to that person to set up additional relationship meetings. Not connecting with the people you meet at all outside of the networking function or meeting. After you get back to the office, send a non selling introduction of yourself or your business. Connect on LinkedIn if possible. Follow your new connections on social media or comment on their blogs. It's all about developing relationships. One meeting a month does not a business relationship make. Now, these are just a few, but I could go on and on. My advice to you is to go beyond the networking function, make contact, and use social media to continue to develop meaningful relationships. Now, always remember, not everyone you meet will be your customers, but they could become your brand ambassadors by referring your business to others. You have to give to get, but make sure that you have everything in place to receive it. That's a quote by me. Now, what are your feelings about offline social media business networking mistakes? So that's it for today. I hope you found some value in today's shows. Stick around for more fantastic social media related information. And don't forget to head over to smartofficehelp.com to join our socially informed community. We'd love to have you. Please subscribe to get more information, tips, tools that are coming up in the future episodes. And you can do that by subscribing through iTunes or listen and or download episodes via smartofficehelp.com. If you missed anything, check out the show notes. And again, I'd like to ask you to please consider rating the show on iTunes or commenting on smartofficehelp.com. I welcome your feedback. Thanks again for listening. Now go out and grow your networks using social media and be prepared for your next networking function. I'm Elizabeth Hall, and I'll talk to you soon on the next episode of Smart Social Media Notes podcast. Smart Social Media Notes is brought to you by Smart Office Help Social Media Agency, growing online networks through interactions, goodwill, and positive communications.